Yeah, hello up. You caught me like mid setup. We've got to be a second while I get everything on. We have updates also. Welcome. Who claimed that one? Hey, Chargeable. On the way, Patty. Welcome in. Oh! Welcome. Yeah, now I recognize it. Thankfully, I get a few comments, but I don't get too many. Yeah? Thanks so much. Sorry, I'm just kind of like a bit distracted. Setting up
Shiny Chargeable underscore welcomed everyone to the country party.
What I've been doing offline, because I've been doing a ton of offline stuff because it has been slowing down, but there's also been some interesting stuff happening. Where am I over here? Full screen. Document history. Where's my like scribble project? Shiny Hisui, there we go. Okay. That should all be good. So, it would be also nice if I could hear music in there. Okay, we're all good. You did really like catch me off guard there. So, offline has been interesting. So, for one, we realized last stream that this was wrong. Well, let's actually... Sorry, spoiler. We realized last stream this was wrong. And that I was missing one when I was like scribbling all over the screen trying to like organize what were like needed to hunt in what places. So thankfully now we're all up to date. Avalug is now in there. And we have a little bit of progress towards every shiny Hisuian, which I'm gonna run you through if I have everything here, hopefully, in my hard drive, and that I do. Some of it still needs to be rendered because, God, I've been powering through. Also distracted by the Nintendo Switch 2 news severely, which is why I was a little bit late today, because I saw I could pre-order it in a shop near me. Turns out they were all wiped out immediately, because usually I'll pre-order from Smith so I can go like pick it up. They're open till 8, so like if I'm in work I can pick it up before or pick it up afterwards. Completely wiped. But pre-orders go up properly on the Nintendo site. And I want to say it's the 8th or the 9th. I think on the actual site it is the 8th. But I've also heard rumours of it being the 9th. But that's not what we're doing today. So, can I minimize this and it'd be fine? Windows. You know what? Let's just hide this for a second, so I can comfortably take it to this screen if I can bring it up, or minimize this, I should say. On full screen. What is my software doing? Let me minimize this. Like I've on full screen it. I don't know what's going on with it. You're just going to have to deal with a lot of green. Just bear with. This is the other screen for what you see. Except it's like full screen. So it's that. You kind of get how things work in the background now. Hate to ruin the facade. But if I go in this folder at least. So this is what I've been doing offline. That won't play here apparently. Will it play in VLC? Should really set default for VLC. Or Braviary at least. Let's see. Yep, there we go. I kind of want to mute this. Or like, no wait, I can select a different track, can't I? So, like, if you don't have it, always like, just download VLC. It's not playing? No! VLC, why are you like this? It's giving you screenshots. God damn it. Okay, so obviously everything's breaking today because, you know, why not? Are you going to play properly now? At least, let's see. It's so weird hearing myself back. Will something else play? Chrome, of all things? No. Well, this is a fun start, isn't it? So again, wait. There you go. Things are... Actually, no. Things are exciting. Tech issues. The most exciting thing ever. Some new media player won't play it. Legacy player will play it as audio. Do I need to open DaVinci Resolve to get this to work? Yeah. Sorry, breaking the facade. I might actually have to open DaVinci Resolve to play these files. I think the other one should be fine. Like, I've got... So, just for reference, that's 3 that I found. But also, there is 4 more. Okay, so if I quickly drag these in, the others should be fine. And I'm hoping OBS doesn't grab itself. Okay. Should be working. There we go. And I can also mute me, hopefully. Is that me? Or is that the game? That's the game. Okay. So. I could skim through this. So I just cleared out a Braviary outbreak. Wait. Oh no, wait, that was something else, wasn't it? What was going on here? This is how much I've done. Like, I've forgot stuff about what I've done. I've just been, like, so locked in. There's, like, a Braviary half a mile away from the outbreak. Okay, now we're skipping. This should be the first one. So what was this? Is that a whole encounter that this caught? How quick was the shiny farm? Oh, Petalil. Yeah, that means nothing. But you'll see right now. Okay, I remember this. Just flying in. And immediately. Just heard the noise. Saw it shine. And I was like, wait, this isn't what I was going for. Shiny Goomy. Which is a target. So that is one of the Goodra line. Or Goomy line. Depends on what way you want to look at it. If you're going bottom to top or top to bottom. But I whacked it in the face with some sticky gloves. Do a Pokeball. Did it stay in the first one? That it did. And immediately my reaction was just to run. So. Goomy. One of them. Goomy isn't actually one of the form. Yeah, one of 2. So that's probably going to be... It could be Sliggoo or Goodra. Unless I randomly find a Goodra, in which case it is definitely a Sliggoo. And then obviously I went to the Petalil outbreak to try and get one of them. Try and get a double encounter. And if I skip forward... How long did this take me? Oh, when I was getting chased down by the Alpha Sliggoo. You can see there was no Petalil at all. But, shiny Goomy from that one. The funny thing is you can't see my face under this, but there is my whole camera still recorded. Still there, looking very confused. as a shiny sound was just perfect for. We have one target down, one of 7 that I have to show you. That's just me popping in the boxes. I am going to try and get a compilation of this so it's easier to watch at some point. Because that's what I was trying to do, but I've been doing so much hunting that I haven't even had time to edit this down. Okay. Can't remember this one. But this should be the next encounter in the Alabaster. Which one were you? Yeah, exactly. You look under me, it's like the locked in Panay face. Like I'm just gonna find something. And I definitely just talk only when I find them. Because I've only just properly got my voice back today. So even just like if I was constantly saying a little bit every time it was doing my voice in. But thankfully 100% today. Walking past some rufflets, which is something else I go over. We're kind of in like stage 2.5 of the hunts. And a berg might outbreak. You know. If I come back to here, I can actually get rid of that one. If I pause it and come back to here. That one that we just added that we forgot last time. Yeah, thankfully I didn't fully lose my voice, which is a good thing. It was just hard to continuously talk. Which is why once I was done with the direct on Wednesday, I was like, I need to hop off. But yeah, would not recommend. Especially when you enjoy doing things like singing and that and you just can't. Okay. I just saw my face there. I think I was talking over it.
True Ikari subscribed for 3 months. Sounds like hay fever is kicking your ass as well as mine, lad.
It might be, to be fair. I never thought about that because I do get hay fever bad. But I've been getting slightly better over the years. Also, welcome in, Maker. Thank you so much for the resub. You're like perfect time for all the shinies. Wait, I was talking over again. Just listen closely. I'll even pause the music. We can listen to that sound. You heard it. And then there's... This is the pause of me hitting the record button. That could be why I've like had like a second wave of not being well. Yeah, it wasn't super obvious. But there it is with its little yellow legs. Because the ice stays the same, but I knew what to look for at least. Because thankfully I have an addiction. Also, I have been trying to get a Bidoof. So I can get... I'm considering it like Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. I think I said this before, or maybe I've just said it in recordings and think I've said it live. I'm considering I've got the Father. Was it? Yeah, I think it was you, Chargeable, in the Discord. I consider you got the Son. Now I need to find the Trinity of the Holy Ghost. And the Father gets to evolve once we've done this whole challenge. But that was... Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. That was big, mate. That little fella there. So 2 targets down. Like no phases in between them. Which for this far in, kind of a surprise, not gonna lie. Especially when I was trying to find that big bite. I droughted so long. But now we're in Cobalt Coastland. So one I always forget. So you got, I think, 2 options really here, because you can see I'm on the water. And you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm gonna come over to the Quillfish outbreak and find that Quillfish that I found before the challenge started, so I can at least get one. Yeah, no. That is not how things work. That would be ideal if I found an alpha one, which I could specifically hunt. And even potentially, you can see that was the outbreak as well. Which I also learned something before that annoyed me that I didn't know up to now. Yeah, while I'm editing the video, I may just like in between try and shiny, like soft reset the alpha Bidoof and see hopefully if I can get a shiny one of those so I can get the alpha as the Father. And I guess yours will be the Holy Ghost. So we will still have the Holy Trinity. Going over to this one. And if you know the Cobalt Coastlands, you know probably what is here that I'm looking for. And we add the sound again. Off screen, which is still annoying. Well, I think probably just on screen. Like down here. Where I'm wiggling my mouse that you can't see. That's super useful. And then obviously I pause because when I record, when I save the replay and I start recording, there's a little buffer in between, so I just sit in the menu. Wait, did that happen again? It happened again. But yeah, you can see it. Right next to the Basculegion there, that's a shiny Basculin. Which is the second shiny Basculin. Well, I'm gonna drop something after this because I've kind of got things set up to where we find stuff live that goes on the VOD channel. I have shorts for like completed hunts, and then I have the main channel, and then I have Panay Plays that does nothing until like I have more time to do that, which is just gonna be like other games. But I also have one for like offline hunting where I just do like short edited compilations that aren't like super high effort, basically. But they are getting long. The last one was like 13 minutes, and I think I've got a whole system down. And from the edits I've done from a couple of streams now, I put them up. And that's basically where they go. So it's not just me editing for stream and then they end up not being seen all the time. Like if you want to see what I'm doing offline and I'm not really streaming, stuff's going to go up there. But yeah, the Basculin ran away there. But thankfully for the way these outbreaks work, just going to fast forward to it. I'm staring down trying to get the sparkles right there. And I'm a bit more on the ball for this shiny. Because Basculin and any of the water outbreaks are the most annoying outbreaks, like Quillfish and Basculin. And doing what I just did recently, and you can see it's only a slight difference. I wouldn't have even noticed this if it wasn't for the sound. Doing these water outbreaks is such a pain, but I think I've got a system down for them. And then I did my usual, I got the shiny, I'm running. So that is 3 targets in a row. What was the first one again? Jesus. Goomy. Is my head still not in this? Goomy, Big, Mite, Basculin. And it was a second male Basculin, so I need a female specifically. And I was just clearing this. I'm still waiting for the whole night playthrough because of... Yeah, no, as soon as Silksong was announced as well, I was like, I have to do it. I'll do it. Which, to be fair, I'm looking forward to just like when I've got more time, which in the run up to Z8 is probably the best time for me to do it. Once I get to like this project, stuff kind of eases off for stuff that has like a time restriction or like a deadline sort of thing. But yeah, I am definitely planning to play through Hollow Knight. Probably, maybe as my next one after some shorter projects, depending on when ZA is properly announced. And then yeah, I just failed to clear this Quillfish outbreak. And I think that is the last of anything that needs Da Vinci. So, yeah, nothing there. Don't save that there. We're back to green. Where are my... Oh, my others are here. So you got to see how my files are also organized. Top content.
I have decided you cannot use the wiki and have to use chat for info.
That's fine. It's all up in the brain now. I've used the wikis enough. There's like one thing I had to look up while this is loading, which is actually taking a while. What I looked up was, I've been specifically... Hey, Pascal, welcome. Nice to see you back. What I've been doing is using mass outbreaks mostly. Because... Hey, thanks so much for the sub. Thanks so much for the prime. Sorry, I've got to get like typical streamer lingo in. 2 subs this scream. 2 subs this scream? Yeah, top scream. We're doing well. As my finder just started... Yeah, it has, hasn't it? It does not like loading this folder. We'll get a second folder. That always works, right? I could scream if you want, but my voice may throw out again. What was first? Because you do have spoilers here. I think it was this one. Yeah, not quite yet. We'll get into that later. So this one. We start to phase a lot. I'm just going to spoil it. There are no targets in these next ones. The last one is actually kind of surprising. Because even I wasn't expecting it. So, you can see here. I really need to like show my mouse. Where's my capture? Let me take my mouse on. Capture cursor. There we go. You can see my mouse now. So just on here, there's Sneasel at the bottom. That's what I was going for. I just looked for like one. I'm using Massive Mass Outbreaks. Which, I'll clarify what I was just about to say while I was waiting for it to load. Massive Mass Outbreaks have low odds. Turns out normal Mass Outbreaks have lower odds, which I thought it was the other way around. So I've been doing this inefficiently. Because if there's been a chance to get multiple targets, I've been going for those. Where I should have been like, if I see a single target in a normal Mass Outbreak, going for that instead. But that's moving forward. That was something I figured out after I just did the last hunt for this. So you can see Sneasel there. And then I reset just to save some materials. And this is a replay file. So this is like right before I find it basically. And out of all of those, what are we guessing I find? Because I guarantee you won't guess it. Do I get knocked off here? No, I actually dodged that one. Shiny Snova. Let's open the other file. So, not a target, but I did think going into ZA, this is actually not a bad one. Because I always forget, a Bomber Snow has a Mega Revolution. So if I really want to, it's a female one, so I was a little let down because it's more white than it is a shiny colours. But it's a shiny regardless. And I can use shiny Mega Bomber Snow in ZA. Yeah, no, the Massive Mass Outbreaks really throw this off. And I think this just really wouldn't stay in as well, which was the stupid thing. It's the panic of like throwing a ball without throwing the sticky glove first. Let's skip this forward a little bit. Wait. Does this one stay in? Yeah, there we go. That stupid moment where it caught and then I got knocked out. And I can't remember what I did here. I can't remember if... Okay, I closed it. I wasn't sure if I was just going to accept being knocked out and lose all the items. More spoilers for what also happened. Later on, I do really need those items. I could just see me ranting under this. Let's just... Wait, did that catch straight away? We'll do the catch and then we'll move on to the next one as well. Because I love the fact that like you were going to guess Sudowoodo and it just appeared before you could even guess. So yeah, there's the catch, and then this is probably me just going and checking the Sneasel as well. Or trying to... Getting stopped. Oh my god, the amount of times I've been stopped by the Misfortune Sisters is actually ridiculous. But it does give me a bit more money. We have this one. So we're still here. I'm hoping you kind of know like what outbreaks are on this map. I'm just going to leave it to play and let you guess. People are saying that you can now get a living dex on home when ZA comes out, but everybody forgets about Celebi. Celebi is away. Yeah, I think Celebi's still locked. Unless they do something dex reward wise. Yeah, Celebi's still locked away. That's actually kind of annoying, but you could get a shiny Celebi if you do a home reward. Because we still don't know what ZA is going to give you because it's Kalos. But they gave you Keldeo for Gala. Yep. Did we hear the noise? I've been clearing this outbreak, and this is the first cleared outbreak in a while. I still haven't even looked, but I know there's a sound. I'm just trying to survive. And there it was again, because it ran further away from me and then came back into range, and that's when I heard it. That sound actually went off twice. But you'll notice I did already say. I thought that was a video. I didn't realise you played it again. It's a shiny Sneasel in front of me. It's a female, so technically I have a Sneasler because I already have a female Sneasel. Also, just while I'm going through catching this on screen, I'm definitely playing a game. Someone did enlighten me. It is solid. It's way better than the original shiny. I'll say that much because I love black shinies, so I am a bit partial. Yeah, someone enlightened me while I was just like chilling in Johnstone's stream while I was hunting, and they were talking about the direct stuff. If your Nintendo ID that has purchased Virtual Console stuff on the 3DS has already downloaded those games, oh no, has purchased them, you can re-download them. I haven't checked it yet, but that's maybe some good news when I actually go and check it. Well, I hate to spoil it, the Evo does come up. And the Evo was such a surprise because what I'll say is I'm not going to count this Sneasel for the Sneasler. That's all I was going to say so far. But that was the Sneasel anyway. Where's my mouse? There it is. Because this run was insane. Yeah, hold the suspense. It wasn't the Voltorb. The Voltorb didn't evolve into a Sneasel. I think that's how you could misconstrue that, right? That makes sense. So just for reference, on this map, I think I'm going for a Sneasel outbreak. Because it depends on how long they take. I have like a 2-minute buffer for like when I can hit record to save that bit. Before, like, then it just keeps going afterwards. Oh, it was a Voltorb and a Sneasel. This was actually a good outbreak. Or a good massive mass outbreak spawn. So that's why it didn't show all of them on the map. But you do kind of get to see what it's going for anyway. But yeah, no Heracross either. No Voltorb, no Heracross. I forget we're in this. We heard it, and we see it. There's a golden nugget on screen. See, I still want to... Okay, Minecraft movie, I know it's probably going to be bad and not for me. I still want to see it. I need to see something that I know is bad. Because it could be pleasantly surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting Sonic 3 to be as good as it was. Still not amazing, but I had a good time watching it. Yeah, I've already had a Geodude in this challenge as well. Just while I think I was grinding out money. So while I was grinding golden nuggets, I found a golden nugget. But a Geodude pops up. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. But if I'm going in with the expectation that it's going to be bad, I'm going to have a good time expecting a bad film. That is what I'm hoping for. But yeah, you'll notice I caught the Geodude and there's still a fair bit of recording to go. I almost spoiled. So I go to the Sneasel break. Yeah. It does feel that way. There are some, like, Geodude and Zubat was my kind of, like, what you're probably saying your Geodude experience was. I have so many Zubats in Legends Arceus. Mainly because I'd find shinies at night and didn't realise I could switch day to switch what shiny it'd be. I am expecting cringy lines like that. Like, we've already have it. It's like, I am Steve. And like, the children yearn for the mines. Like, I just want terrible, cringy quotes when I go in to watch it. But yeah, like the other Sneasel, just coming back to this, you'll notice I'm clearing them. Yeah, they were like in the trailer, I know at least that much. But I'm trying to avoid everything because I want to watch it on the side while I do more hunting. Because it's not going to be first monitor content. Only I'm first monitor content. Yeah, I'm clearing them. And you'll notice I just kind of wait. And somehow we get the banana. But it is a shiny alpha banana. Like the first shiny alpha of this challenge. That's why I was like, no. The other Sneasel does not get to be my Sneasler for this. This thing gets to be my Sneasler. Like, I wasn't expecting to find any shiny alphas. I did have some plans for some of them walking around carrying. Actually. Oh, yeah, they do the weird popcorn buckets, don't they? That I would never pay for. Yeah, so first, Shelfer. I say first, hoping for another one. Because one of my thoughts, if I was really struggling with the hunts, was... I've never thought, but it's probably the closest to a Lady Gaga Pokemon now that you're pointing it out. You know what? We can nickname it when I jump into the game. Yeah, one of the, like, if I was really droughting, I know there's shiny alpha spawns. Oh no, there's alpha spawns for some of the Pokemon. And yes, I did get knocked out. I have to go back for it. But I'm just letting it play while I explain this. So, if you have a mass outbreak over an alpha spawn, and then clear it, if you load back in, that alpha will respawn with random traits, and one of those traits is it can be shiny. So I was thinking, if I really have to, like, I don't think Stantler is an option, but say Stantler spawns under a massive mass outbreak spawn, and I clear it and I do the soft resets, that would be how I could avoid phasing. It would just take a lot longer. So that was one of my plans. But what I ended up doing is, if I come back into this, you can, right here, I have a folder. It's just a white square. But I have a folder called Perfecting Entries because, and this is probably worth me coming back to this screen for, we are now, if I bring this up, getting very low on targets, which we can get ready to start. We can get ready to start taking them off and see how many ticks this takes me. So is my pen at least working today? Yeah, it's working. Yep, it works and it knows what it's doing. So from that, still no Stantler, still no Quiltrish, still no Overquill, still no Lilligant. But we do have... we do have... Shiny Sliggoo, I'm going to count for now. We also have... It was male, and I think the yellow one is male, but I'm just going to take that off for now. Wait. Chargerbug, you did say this. I won't take it off immediately. But if you can look up what the shiny colours for the male one are. Because I know the male and female for the normal colours. That's just confused me, but I'm assuming it's going to be the yellow one. So I won't take that off immediately. But, I guess... The Sneasel was a phase, wasn't it? We've had 2 Sneasels, I think. But anyway, that doesn't get... Well, that can be, like, super ticked off, I guess, if we want it. It's got double ticks because it's a Shelfer. And also, for the one we've just added, we get to tick off... We get to tick off... Shiny Avalugg because I got the Bergmite. Or I guess anyone in the chat. Or I could... Instead I can't use a wiki. But, for video-wise, unless you get here first... I'm going to look up Baskia Legion just to see what colour shiny is. Buskia Legion. Like the musical version of Baskia Legion. Cerebi is good just for the reference. So the male one is purple. So I've actually got them kind of backwards. So I could... You're weirdly hidden by everything I've got open. I know that editing software you recommended me. I think that it needs to download it. Oh, you're on a Chrome. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'd stick with like Photopea or like Photopedia. I can't remember what you said. Yeah, if you got anything like Windows or Mac based, GIMP is great because it's what I'm using for this, basically. Because it works well with styluses that have like pressure sensitivity, which gives you your nice like end of your line flicks that go thinner and stuff. So it is. There we go. Sorry, struggling with like layers. We can take off the purple one, or the magenta one, I guess, because we use a magenta for the challenge. So that's where we're at. Now, there is another bit to catch you up on, because yes, I have been very busy. If we come back over green. We come back over to green. I was perfecting entries. So, I guess also catch you up. I'm perfecting the base form entries to bring the odds down slightly. So I think for the maximum odds with mass outbreaks, if I find those, it's a 1 in 237 for a complete dex entry. But for a perfect dex entry, it comes down to 217. So not too much of a difference, but I feel like at this point, it's what I need to do. Okay, cool. Well, we're in the next phase of what I'm explaining about it, basically. So base forms, I decided to take it from 237 to 217. I was going to perfect the dex entries. And I've done it for base forms, not for the evolved forms yet. I will go back and do them if I really feel like I need to. So I perfected Stantlers for Weirdeer. I perfected Quillfishes for both of those. Petalil for Lilligant. Goomy for these two, I guess, depending on how they line up. Basculum, because now there's a chance I can phase with the next one if it's not female. Speaking of phasing, I only need a male Sneasel. And I've got 2 female Sneasel and a Sneasler. So, basically, unless it's a male Sneasler, everything is a phase. And I've also perfected Rufflets for Braviary. So hopefully that will help. I was going to say, help us, help me. However, we're going to do this. I need support, so I'm classing this as an us exercise. So that's where that's at. But I'm also bringing up video because while I was perfecting, obviously, I'm just flying through areas. And I was expecting to find anything. Only thing is, I also have to find the shiny again in the footage. And I know where I was. Also, what this helped with was finding routes for, like, if there are no mass outbreak spawns that I need or massive mass outbreaks, then I know routes for these Pokemon as well to try and, like, see the most. Which was something I was expecting to be useful, but just, like, nice side effect. How far in was this? Oh, okay. I'm in the Mylands. And this is like no outbreaks or that. I'm just trying to like complete dex entries. Wait, was it not that one? Or was I checking like outbreaks? It wasn't that one. It just done. How late in was this? God, I was powering through all the different areas. So I'm just trying to find it. I have 1,400 platinum points. I should get people pony. Oh, but you gotta use them for something. Those platinum points are, for the most part, useless. So, you know, if you can get something useful, why not? Wait. Caught using backstrike. Where was this? How long was it? Oh, this is a 58-minute recording. No wonder. Okay, we're on the hunt for a shiny that I've already found. I remember it being in the Mylands. Was it somewhere here? doesn't seem like it does it. Goomy outbreak. Or would it have been at the start of this? Let's go back a few seconds. Wait, that looks right. Okay. Because I obviously know what Chinese it is. But just randomly flying over, and that happened. A shiny Hippopotas, which, funnily enough, is the opposite gender to the one I already had just from playing the game casually. So now I have both shiny forms of Hippopotas. Just need 2 more for Hippowdon. So, Hippopotas was also a phase for the hunt. Got it to tick off. But, just good to know how much I'm starting to phase now we're getting later in the challenge. So that's where we're currently at. For better or for worse. And if we do a quick count before I jump back into actually hunting, we need, because I haven't actually done a count, I think we're in single digits now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So technically for Arceus we have 9 shinies to find ish. Plans for later on, but that's not technically a hunt. Plus these 2, which are going to be BDSP, so they are not in Arceus. 9 to find in BDS in PLA. So now we're done with the whole explaining bit, which only took about like 40 odd minutes. We can jump into the game and finally get onto maybe some more progress. If my game was actually on. I've been explaining so long, my console just turned itself off. And we're going to keep what I said in mind, that mass outbreaks are better than massive mass outbreaks. Which makes sense why that is a ring very early on showed up in one of those. So we can come over here and finally get to it. Oh, I think the Arceus Pokeball charger will... Well, okay. I'm going to get very distracted. I haven't actually seen what Platinum points can get, like, recently. Platinum Nintendo points, they should come up. My Nintendo rewards, even though it's not my Nintendo anymore. So what was that holder? Because I do have Platinum points that I just haven't used. Third page? Okay, good. I'm right as I was going on to the third page. That's not a bad little glow-in-the-dark keyring, to be fair. Okay, it might be third page on the Switch. It's different for desktop, apparently. That's actually not bad. I have seen that before. That's not bad. Between that and the Piplup one, although the Piplup one is so dumb, I'd go with the Piplup one if I was you. It's fine. We found it anyway. I don't even know how many Platinum points I've got. Am I logged in on this? I'm not, and I'm obviously not going to log in. Hey, welcome to me adding more stars to my desktop. Okay. So, also, after perfecting entries, I had to restock a little bit. So, we're back up on sticky globs and balls. And we're running around with the team again. God is always in there, but Electivire is also in here with us now. And I've got an extra spot just so I can have the shiny on my team if it shows up immediately. So what are we seeing first? Alabaster items. Be good to me straight off, Alabaster, please. Show me a target. Right, first of all, save. We don't want to waste berries, even though I've got 80 of them. I would very quickly run through them. Okay. Mine. Show me Rufflet. Show me... I don't think Sneasel can be here. I think Rufflet's the only massive mass outbreak one. Okay, nothing there initially. Wait, no, I was about to reset. I've done this so many times. There's a rufflet down there. The amount of times I've skimmed over a map and almost reset and went straight back to the village without seeing it. Because I've got to reset to save my berries. But I'm like going, ironically, snowblind with all of the mass outbreaks. Because I'm only looking for single ones, so even ones that I know are targets, I'm now just... Or ones that were targets, I'm now not looking at. Which means also sometimes ones that I haven't caught, I'm still skipping over. I haven't done it yet that I've been paying attention to. But that's like saying I haven't seen any of the things that I've been looking for that I haven't seen. It's like, yeah, obviously. That it makes any sense. Okay, it was down here in the avalanche slopes. Honestly, this is going to be very much just like last stream. Like, if I find any shinies, I'm happy. If I get an alpha Sneasel that's male, would be actually insane. Like, if I have a shiny male alpha Sneasel plus alpha Sneasler, at some point my brain would think, oh, you just need to like finish the line with an alpha female. No more chops over there. I think my best bet is going up to this. Because I have to go down the other way. And the amount of times I've went the long way around is also kind of maddening. That outbreak is up there. I'm also learning the maps so well, like where some of the outbreaks just typically are. I'd definitely recommend it. Just because Arceus is a fun game anyway. If you're just doing it as part of a dumb challenge just to get Enamorous twice, it can get annoying. But the first time I did it for the living decks to get the extra Enamorous was still fun. The second one was mind-numbing. But that was also because I knew less about Arceus as well. I found the one to report it. Okay. Now we go clearing. Thankfully, Rufflet is one of the easier ones to do. One thing I'd also recommend is just playing Arceus in general before ZA, because I'm imagining a load of the controls are going to be very similar. And it was rough getting back used to the controls after playing so much of Scarlet and Violet. Don't. The app got me that time. God damn it. The app actually did a decent one. God damn it, play 3. I'm not used to the app being good. Usually it gets me like a menu and it's obvious that it isn't real. Oh. Oh, I think that was something that I got in like a recording. Was that charge animation from Braviary just being off in the distance and glitching out. Okay, they're gone. So nothing there immediately, unfortunately. Honestly, I don't know when I'm going to get to it, because obviously it depends on how lucky I get. But if you wanted to play along with me doing a second playthrough of Legends Arceus, have fun with that. We could help each other along, or you could like follow along with my sort of guide-ish. Because I'm planning on doing a catch 'em all anyway. I think the last time I did it, I just dropped a load of Pokemon from my living decks in. Yeah, I think that's what I did. So it's going to be interesting doing it from scratch again. Plus, I'm doing it Professor Oak style to keep the video interesting. Like, there's a little bit of like back and forth. Oh, straight on with that. Okay, still massive mass outbreaks. I really want to test this theory of the mass outbreaks. Like, see in comparison. Really, I should keep like a tally chart of like what ones I find target-wise. Oh, that just seems like so much work. That's what I'm thinking, because hopefully it's not too long. Like, maybe. I'm hoping like a week. Because I've still got the long hunts for Dialga Palkia. Which are definitely going to be mostly offline until I find one, and then I'll do the encounter online. Otherwise, it's been a lot of this where I see no targets I need. And then I've just got to reset. Because that's the plan with both of those. I'm going to start the initial hunt so you have an idea of what's going on, and I get some footage for the initial encounters. So I can basically go through and explain what's happening and describe on screen when it comes to video-wise. Then I'm going to go off and grind them out while I watch like films, YouTube, streams, whatever. And then if I find one, I'll have the recording offline. Then I'll do the encounter online. So I'll basically get initial reaction, go to the home screen, and then you'll see it on stream, what we do. And the plan for those is, I don't know if I explained this last time either. Hopefully, the best case scenario for me is I find Dialga first, because my brother-in-law has a copy of Shine and Pearl, which means I can do a quick 4 or 5 hour playthrough of Shine and Pearl. Get up to Mount Coronet again. Absolutely nothing here. Let's go look at the Stantler and then come back. Get up to the Mount Coronet point again and try and hunt Palkia. So we can have 2 Palkia hunts going on at once, and I can still dual hunt that. If it gets to it and it takes a while, I might be triple hunting and we'll have like the Switch 2 being the 3rd one. That's if I get really unlucky. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully we're done before the Switch 2 comes out. My god. Yeah, if you're hunting Stantler, by the way, this is a rough area that I've found like has the most, so it's like the quickest to just get a load of checks in. Which makes sense. I think it's like Deer something. Deer Track Heights. Which not many Stantler. No. Also, on top of this ledge. Which, unfortunately, mass outbreaks can't spawn up here, so you can't do it for Stantler. There is the Alpha Stantler. Or at least massive mass outbreaks can't spawn up there. But they seem to only have like a handful of places that they do spawn. I didn't say it before this. I was about to like go back to the menu just from like muscle memory. You're like, there's nothing here. Go to menu. Yeah, I'll try and cover bits of those as I'm going through the different ones. Of like what is the best routes to go for different kinds of Pokemon. Although when it comes to like Basculegion and Quillfish, they're both pretty much the same routes. I think here just because phasing on Sneasel. So I need to like stop looking for Sneasel as soon as possible, hopefully. Save here, just so I can immediately get out. And my please this time. Or maybe it's because I'm talking to the wrong person, thing, Pokemon. Munchlax. Please show me what I'm looking for. Sneasel outbreak below me. That's at least something. It's more than most times. And at this point, like, with far enough in, we kinda take those. What are the... Okay, I'm gonna quickly look up PLA shiny odds. Therapy has a nice little list that I've used. So, if you're curious, for massive mass outbreaks, species research 10, 1 in 293. Species research perfect, 1 in 256. Level 10 with the shiny charm is 1 in 241. And perfect research with the shiny charm is 1 in 216, which is currently what I'm at. So 1 in 216 odds for this Sneasel, hopefully. Oh, that was lucky because I was just coming out the menu. I just scared it, otherwise that would have been a good one as I was flying around. That was something that annoyingly Ruby pointed out. What is it? Lucy? Minima? Whatever her name is. She's changed it to. Well, Lucy won't change, I think. But she's now Minima if you spot her in chat. I spotted that change. Because I was very confused looking through my stream activity and seeing that name in there. Like, who's this? I've never seen them in chat. Then I spotted the profile picture and I was like, oh, I know exactly who this is. The lock-on for this is maybe the worst thing and what I'm hoping they fix the most in ZA. The amount of times it hasn't locked on to the closest Pokemon. Or it's locked on and the Pokeball or whatever I'm throwing aiming at it doesn't hit. Which also, okay, I'm just gonna rant from what I've been like grinding out. Stay in the Pokeball, I'm ranting. If you are doing water encounters, which I didn't like them already. Okay, nothing there. I didn't like them already, but I realized if you throw, like if the Pokemon is small, so say for instance, Quillfish, pretty small little orb, you throw something at it. If where the game wants you to aim is below the water line, anything that hits the water counts as a miss. And it'll just like, will not hit the Pokemon. The Pokeball will be ineffective, the Sticky Glob will be ineffective. So you've got to like lock on and aim slightly up. That's if it locks onto the Pokemon right in front of you and not like half a mile over to your right. So that's been a fun one to constantly deal with. But some advice if you're hunting any of those is basically just get jet balls for a start and aim with the top line or like just under the top line to try and hit them. Because it does have a slight drop off which the reticle accounts for. And we're going to the Islands. So you've kind of like, if anything, kind of think of the jet ball goes in a straight line. That line at the top is where it's going in a straight line. And it's usually good to aim slightly above the Pokemon. Like my shiny hunting advice. Because I'd hope I've got enough experience at this point that some of my useless knowledge is useful to someone. Even if I make a whole document for Scarlet and Violet and people still just ask in the comments. Gripe aside. Some people read it. Like, it's more than I was expecting. I use Joy-Cons freehand. Oh, do you mean like I haven't got them in the grip? Because personally, I just find it... It's a one thing, to be fair. Why I really like the Switch initially is being able to like just being whatever relaxed. It's like I can talk with my hands and still play the game. Or what was a weird one that I did just for the sake of being able to do it when I first got the Switch was just like lying spread all across the couch, be like, I could still play a game and my hands are this far apart. Like, it's so nice ergonomically. The Pro Controller I just don't like, and I'm too lazy to get my good controller, if I'm being honest. Anyways, you're back in time for the hunting. And then you can just catch up with the 42 minutes to start the stream for all the shinies I got. Or just look at the thumbnail. Which I've been having more fun with the thumbnails. Yeah, the base Pro Controller, I'm not really a fan of. Just because the D-pad is terrible. That is quite literally the only thing. Yeah, that's why... Okay, the Pro for the Switch 2 was on my bingo list. I was so happy, especially the fact that it's got back paddles now. I know it's not going to have macros, so my 8-bit Do one that I've got is still going to have its use for like the macros and stuff and turbo buttons. Because it doesn't seem like they're doing that. But it's going to be so nice just to have a decent first-party controller. And the fact that that was one of the first announcements. Anything here? There's... Okay, Basculin below me. And that is perfected. And we can try and get a Starly. One thing I do want to know, because I love doing it. You could, like, these are customized. I want to be able to customize the Switch Pro controller, Switch 2 Pro controller, relatively soon, is the thing. But I'm not sure for people who make those parts how quickly they're going to be able to get them out. Yeah, to be fair, that wasn't something I was personally bothered about, because if we're going to use NFC, I'd just use it. I'd throw a Joy-Con on for using it for a second. Plus, I don't actually have Amiibo. I didn't get sucked in by all that, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd just be so poor. Okay, there was the app plus... Wait. Nope. Where? There were 2 shiny sounds. Oh, I will go over that. I have thoughts. Can I get it to make the sound again? I heard 2 loads of sounds. I know I'm not going insane. Yeah, because I thought I heard it from you, but then I looked over and I saw 5 minutes ago. Then I heard a clear one after the app went off, or like player 3. I guess I've been calling it. Where are you? Okay, so nothing down here. Do I need to test this just to see if I was going insane? I'm gonna reset. I think it was one of the Starly, but none of them looked brown. You know what? I'm going insane. Yeah, there we go. We just wait while we're jumping in a second. Because that's a shot. Given that I spent like 40 minutes just yapping. That's a relatively quick shiny after I started hunting. Considering I've droughted for about like 2 hours at one point. Okay, so it's as I walked out here. Is it one of them? The left one looks more brown, but I'm sure the shiny is more brown. Stop it. Honestly, it just lined up so well. Like, I was trying to include more of TTS as well, because that is like half of the fun of streaming that much of it. Is it that one on the left? Not that one. That doesn't say shiny. Fine. The one of... Was I actually going insane? I think I might have actually went insane. I'm like hearing shiny sounds that aren't an actual thing. Wait. So... I have a dumb thing that hasn't happened often, and the one thing that threw me off was the fact that player 3 has a chance to play the sound twice. So we heard the sound twice, but it was 2 different volumes. But player 3 also has a chance. Yes, I'm just making a boast. I should have done maybe more like the dumb bunk. Player 3 also has a chance to disregard whatever I've set the volume to. and play the sound at full volume. That's what threw me off. It was 2 sounds, quick succession, 2 different volumes. Player 3 got me good there. Alright, let's reset. Basculin was what I was actually looking for. I made the app too good. I gave it too many features to throw me off. The only thing that would have brought it back to not being realistic is if it would have hit 3 in a row. But 3 in a row is really hard for it to do. Because basically it decides, like, I'll play it once. And then, kind of like shiny hunting, it'll roll the dice again and be like, can I play this sound again? But the odds are smaller. And every time it tries to play the sound again, it gets smaller and smaller. Yeah. Oh, no. For sure. It is the thing well. Yes and no. It was more like to scare me initially. And I was like, what if I use it for shiny? Like, to gaslight myself. Which is when I started using it as player 3. It's so funny that that worked so well. Also, if you get a basket outbreak, fun thing to do. Just... Basket, get in! Basket, get in! I can't believe after I just gaslit myself with a stupid... my own stupid program. Basculin's there. I didn't even see the gender. I need to check the gender. If it's female, we haven't phased on Basculin at all. We have the line done, which only leaves Quillfish for this. Also, I'm going to count that as perfecting my decks. Help me get that. Because at this point, if any of them show up, other than the Revolve forms, it's because I perfected the decks. You know what? We need more epic music for this. All of that happening in a row is actually unbelievable. Going straight for it. As I was saying, like, oh, this is how you clear the outbreak, that easy. So it's not the first wave. You can all run away. I'm just going to be ready to aim in. That one. Stay. Yes, I did not check, but I can check now. Wait. Well, let me clear out most of these, actually. You know what? Screw it. That is major. It's female. The line is done. You know what? Screw it. I don't need any more. I don't need to check the rest of the outbreak. Officially, that is line complete. So now if I ever see a basket outbreak, it is just another one that I get to ignore, which is great and annoying at the same time. So first things first, whenever I find one. I can't believe we found a target this stream. I was going to be happy with any shiny, but... Oh, wait, it's in the party. But the fact that the target is just even better. Ooh, I did see Cerebi was releasing some as well. Yeah, so we've got male Basculin, female Basculin. Oh, I was going to say more about some other stuff. Like the Discord thing, and got majorly distracted. Okay. First things first though. We get to register that we've caught a single Pokemon. You know, whatever's level 62 down there. Come on, you're really killing the mood now. Return to village. I'm going to do all the Evos at the end. So, roughly when I have an idea of how the video is going to come together, there's going to be a stream of like me just evolving them. So have fun with that one. So far, I'm leaving them unevolved just in case I need like B-roll shots. Okay. That's done. So, for the first time in a long time, on stream, we get to come over here and officially tick off, if I can remember what row we're on, above Sneasel. We get to tick off the Basculin that we need for female Basculegion. Major. Which leaves us 8 left to find. Find where everything is. And now we can go back to some chill times and just talk about Switch stuff. Yeah, so close to the Dialga Palkia hell. Or heaven, depends on how you look at it. Yes, I'm curious. You're kind of given... going to have a life sucks, yeah. Is Quillfish going to be in this one? Is this going to be an ID? What do you mean by an ID? I have an idea of what you could mean, but I want to clarify that I'm answering the question first. Save there. Oh, got a bit of a headache. Kicking in. I need my caffeine fix. Need to down my coffee. Show me Quillfish. The only thing I need now. And I need 2 of them. Quillfish. Okay. What are the odds that Quillfish would be in the same place? Surely not right. Surely. It wouldn't be, like, not in the initial wave, but, like, in the second load. Because these I have to actually clear, which is annoying. Yeah, -%. I've got too lucky. I need to start getting up to 0%. Actually, have I got the dice roll thing up? Custom tech. I do have the random roll. Okay. I'm not going to predict this. I'm going to leave it in a menu so it doesn't waste time in the outbreak. Oh, that was the finder window that died on me, isn't it? Yep. Where am I? Random roll. So then if I throw the background on and throw random roll on there. Choose a sound, that would be useful. Assets. Sounds. Item box sound, there we go. Okay. I'm just going to test the sound. Okay. So just to make sure it's all showing up there. The question is... Oh, Magic 8 Ball. Am I going to find a shiny in this? It says it's shiny. But also it faded out. You know what? I think that was a full roll. Magic 8 Ball, we're gonna shake you. Anything Mario Kart is nostalgic, which is also when the Switch 2 comes out, I'm gonna be playing a bit of Mario Kart just because why not? Okay. We're gonna shake it properly. Magic 8 Ball. Do we find the shiny? Okay, this time it said not shiny when we did a proper roll. But I need to prove it wrong. Okay, we can turn all that off. I might just leave that there just for the sake of it. We can take guesses every time. Yeah, she loves me not. It's a shiny not. Okay, so it's south. If it is a shiny, I'm going to swap it to just a short sound. None of them initially. Okay, so far it's right, and I kind of don't like that. swap items, please. This is what I was saying about water encounters are just the worst. I can't wait to be done with all these water encounters. But knowing my luck, it will be the last encounter. Oh, no. I always forget about that slow-mo catch mode. Mainly because it's actually super not great. Most of the time it doesn't log in. Log in, log on. It wasn't a shiny, it was right. Okay, that was 2 tries. 1 was good. Maker, yours wasn't bad. So we got to reset. Yeah, it's one of the things, like, the money for a Switch 2, I've only just got, but it's a super irresponsible purchase, but I'm going to do it regardless. I was hoping where I was going to try and pre-order it from today, they only need, like, £20 down. Yeah, the second was playthrough. Because I was going to order it from Smith's, which only needed, like, £20 down, then you pay the rest on the day, which is fine because it gives me, like, a couple months to just, like, actually work and get money in my bank. Save specifically for that. But I do still have the money if I want to be irresponsible, and it's looking like the only way I'm potentially going to be able to pre-order it is through Nintendo themselves because of the priority they're given to people who've met the requirements, which, for those who don't know, the requirements are, for the UK at least, I know it can vary, have had 2 years of Nintendo Online with a current subscription active. Then have 50 hours played over the year. I think if you just got it to pre-order... Oh no, if you haven't had it for the 2... Sorry, I thought you were saying, like, you haven't had it recently. Yeah, it's got to at least have been 2 with the current active membership. So, like, if people have had 2 before but they haven't paid for it recently, I think it still counts if it's currently active. And also, people have to have the emails on, which I know a lot of people turn them off, just like I did, and I turn them on, so I'll hopefully be able to get my emails, which I'm going to be looking out for on the 8th, just to make sure, because I missed the Smiths one today, because I wasn't checking my emails, because they were out the blue. Like, who was looking on the 4th to be able to get a Switch pre-order? No one. Yeah, and to be fair, that's going to be a lot of people. For me, the only reason I'm kind of, like, hell-bent on getting one straight away is just because I make content on Pokemon games, and the fact that Scarlet and Violet can potentially look better is the only reason I'm going to be doing it. Plus, I do still just want to Switch 2. I am a child in the fact that I just want a new toy. One thing I think they put too much emphasis on with, like, the new C button is all, like, the game share features, because just like you said, you haven't had online for, like, 1, let alone 2 years. So who is still paying? Because you need online for that feature. I feel like if they did a tiered version of it, like, parts of game share were free. Yeah, and that was my initial reaction, was like, oh, they just put Discord on. Which I think is a bit backwards, because, one, if you're using it, why would you not just use Discord? Because most people have a laptop. To be fair. I mean, you can add macros and stuff. They're going to be peak and not. Because I was just about to say, people have laptops and PCs. Like, I'm playing my Switch through PC right now via my capture card. So, slight delay. But if I was to do the full pass-through, I could have, like, one of my screens be PC, one of them be Switch without delay. And just have Discord done properly with a nice mic and a nice camera. Most people have that. Plus, the main reason I can see people not using it. Yeah. But the main reason I can see people not using it is because I think they've implemented it wrong. Yeah. Yeah, we have Nintendo at home, and we have Nintendo at home. Nintendo have Nintendo at home. Like, we have Discord at home, but our Discord will make your gameplay smaller and not full screen, and take up a big bar at the bottom of the screen. And if people are sharing gameplay, they're going to be sharing like 5 FPS gameplay, taking resources from the actual console, being able to do the game and like render it and process and all that kind of stuff. And instead, you know, put part of that towards streaming to your friends in that terrible quality on that tiny screen. And then if you've got a camera in it, it's going to take up more resources, taking out your background and stuff, because people are going to pay £50 for that camera. Like that, I think they've done it wrong, and not too many people are going to be able to use it, as well as it's just a bad implementation. It's going to be like, it's going to have its niche use cases, and people who need those niche use cases are going to love it, don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm playing, say, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I can't find one of those golden bananas, but one of my friends knows where it is, but it's an awkward place to describe because you can dig through the land, then if they can share their screen and guide me through and I can see exactly what they're doing, that's amazing, honestly. But otherwise, for the people who are going to use it, like, you're paying at least £20 a year. You've probably got a laptop or something, if you can pay that subscription, that could run Discord, or a Chromebook on the side, like you were just saying, Chargerbook. Like, run Discord through a Chromebook and do it that way. Oh, the playing over LAN. Yeah, I had no issues with the playing over LAN thing. Yeah, I was fully down with that, because I think I called it like DS download play. Like, they're bringing that back. That's amazing. And also the fact that you can do that not just over LAN, but online. Yeah, or just your phone. I always do not think of a phone, but a phone is valid. But the fact that they have DS download, or I guess Switch download play for online, is actually something I never thought they'd do again, because it is so not Nintendo to do something like that. Like, oh, we're going to give you a taste of a game to play multiplayer without actually needing the cartridge. Like that. Wait, no, we learned this. Rufflet has better odds on its own. That's what I'm excited for mostly, because you can... I think they said Mario Party in that, and like that was one of the examples. Like, being able to play Mario Party, but only one person has it, and the others just become controllers for the game. Major. Like, this is... So, a lot of people... 24 Racing... Oh, yeah. I did see, like, they did some of the Treehouse stuff, which I've only seen the Mario Kart one so far, because of just being, like, letting Austin John break them down while I've been doing other stuff. Like, yesterday while I was... That wasn't... It's done it twice. Something's coming in and out of render. It wasn't player 3. It wasn't use. It wasn't me. Oh, god damn it! I fell right on top of it, and it's another female Sneasel. Yeah, hello YouTube, we phased again. Yeah. Yeah, that is... Honestly, if I offer it after the video, I don't mind. For the video, they are all going to be lined up. All of these female Sneasel. Anywho. You know what? Let's have a more chilled vibe. The fact that that went in and out of render distance was the only thing that clued me that it wasn't. It was also super, like you said, super quiet. None of you gonna be shiny now. Yeah, I feel like this is just payback for me having like a male-only original living dex. But surely I redeem myself karma-wise by getting all of the female forms as well. Okay, well, at least save here. Sorry, hold on. One thing I would never understand about the Pokemon series is the ability to transfer Pokemon from one game to the next. As while it sounds cool and all those good to eventually your favorite Pokemon, they're usually level 70 plus, so you won't be able to control them until the gym battles, which at that point you already beaten mental again. Yeah, it's one of those things like it's sort of like I was explaining with the game share sort of stuff, where it's gonna have niche use cases and people love it if they're in that niche use case, like they want to use it. If not, people just won't use it. Like, for the most part, I am actually with you there. I don't use any of my Pokemon until I beat the game, really. And it's only like, to be fair, usually I just keep Pokemon in the games as well. Like, I'm not really one to want to transfer and use them in other games, because I like them being in the original games, because also I know where the stories have come from. Because I'm terrible if I just look at data when I've done stuff. Pre-YouTube and like streaming. YouTube and streaming actually really helps when I can look up dates for stuff. Surprisingly, if you've got a massive archive of what you've done. Do enough to virtual console stuff will ever be home compatible? That's what I'm curious about, because it's the first actual like kind of Pokemon that could have been transferred to home being on the virtual console, which I'm gonna give a go anyway, because my plan was to play Colosseum and XD. So I'm basically to have more stuff to play. Okay, they're gone. To have more stuff to play on the Switch too, I'm gonna get the expansion plus to be able to play like Zelda with the expansion plus be able to play those. I don't know why your messages aren't popping up on stream. Also, not to mention that most of the Pokemon people want to transfer Pokemon wouldn't even be able to be transferred until a post game due to them being locked to the national dex. Not with the recent games, it's more just if they're available, considering there is no national dex. So that's because, fun fact, if you want to blitz through BDSP, there is one thing holding you back annoyingly. If you want to blitz through BDSP, you can drop, like, let's say you've got a living dex, like some people may do. Take all of those, drop them into BDSP, and then they will register in the dex in the background. You just don't actively have the dex. But the moment you can get the dex, then basically they will already be registered and you'll have completed it. The only thing with BDSP with the caveat is spin that can't be transferred in because it's so dodgy. I'm not hinting at anyone in particular, I don't know what you're talking about. So you can technically from the start of the game, which like you're saying, it's a bit pointless if you use it from the start of the game because you can't control them. But you can also break the game, which I've used many a time. So if you have the intention to break it or want to use it, the option is there. That was player 3. I need to lower player 3's volume, I think. What's player 3 at? Put it down to 10. There we go. Yeah, because basically when I was doing the original Living Dex, just speaking of it, I was trading for like the Fairthrough and Vivian forms, and to be able to get the ones that I couldn't get with the games I had, or without traveling on a plane to get Fairthrough trims. Everyone wanted a Kubfu at the time. So basically, I would take the starter from that save, transfer it to a different save with all the candies, level it up to like level 100 or like a decent level, put it back into my original game, And I'd be able to control that one. And just blitz through 2 hours to get a Cub Fu to be able to trade. And then just leave them to be able to trade whenever one popped up. So it's useful. The thing that annoys me with the home compatibility is it's not consistent. Also, I need to remember Voltorb is up there. Because if they could have like a unified release of home with the games, so you can transfer in straight away. Because I had this issue with the Indigo Disc as well, not just like the main games. I couldn't transfer in the Electivire I had ready from PLA that we found during like my birthday stream and send it into Scarlet. That's what I was playing. Scarlet to use in the Indigo Disc DLC, which is like the ideal use case is like level 70 plus for that kind of DLC. That's like the only counterpoint, but it's again very niche if you want to do stuff like that. But they released at different times, which meant I had to just hunt another one, and then later on when compatibility was released, I could then transfer it in, which was more frustrating because by then I just wasn't excited to transfer it in. My friend is going to get, I'm going to assume. Well, he don't know how to work Pokemon Go. Okay, usually I'm really good at translating some fast typing. I don't know what that word means. Oh, to Egypt. Oh, got ya. Yeah, that is not where my brain fist went. I was like, Togepi or to get? Yeah, no, I get why my brain didn't connect that. Oh no, it's fine. Usually, I like to think I'm pretty good at like translating if like you've typed something wrong. Just if it's not super obvious. Don't worry about it. Also, I get stuff wrong and I'm not dyslexic. I imagine Egypt has some like... Surely the Pharaoh trim has to be exclusive to Egypt for Fairfu. Which, a hunt that I need to do, considering I've done alchemy forms in Sword and Shield. Well, not hunts, but like getting every trim. I need to replace my Pogo trims with the Fairfu trims that we're going to be able to get in ZA. Like, have my own versions of those Pokemon. Still probably keep them somewhere because they are a little bit sentimental at this point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Pharaoh trim had to be. I know the others are like continental based, like you'll get Asia specific, Europe specific, America specific, that kind of thing. Like I think Mr. Mime is a Europe specific one, but then Tauros is like America specific. I don't know any of the ones that have come out since the original release because that's like the only time I played it properly. And God knows I am not playing it unless I have another exclusive. Which, who knows if the like what's going to go on with that at this point, because Pokemon Go did just sell from Niantic. Like, it's no longer their game. So we'll see how development goes for that. I think the people who took it on did show at least some form of interest of keeping like the community vibe going. And I think some people took Niantic's release a bit wrong because it was very much a press release for... God, energy's dipping and headaches kicking in. It was very much a press release for stockholders. So it was a bit more business talky than I think the community we used to from like the more fun, like, oh, we're doing this kind of like event day or community days or whatever they call it ones. Do not keep up with them. You get this pass for something or, you know, whatever it is. Just doing a quick check to status. Yeah, like, I always forget whether Egypt is Africa or Asia because I'm terrible geographically. But yeah, if it is, that would make sense. Yeah, like if they're keeping the same team, that would make it's more like I trust development for that would stay relatively the same My thought is more like the community vibe behind it. Like, are they still going to focus on community days? Are they going to change stuff around, like, remote raid passes and stuff that people seem to love and I hear a lot about? I will say the only time I do actually play Pokemon Go is usually when I'm shutting off from, like, doing projects like this. But my stupid brain still wants Pokemon. It's when I'm on holiday and I need an excuse, like, I'm exploring anyway. And I'm either, like, taking pictures with my camera. And then in between I'll be like, ooh, this Pokemon. Ooh, this one. Which, funnily enough, is how I got one of the Marshadow for the Living Dex. Because I thought, I've probably got one, but Marshadow has 2 forms. Not Marshadow, Hooper. What's here? Nothing. I'll look at Big Man because I'm so used to seeing Big Man. Yeah, it happened to be the Hooper event was while I was on holiday. And like, one of the last days of the holiday was when I was able to get Hooper. Otherwise, I don't think I would have even noticed it because I've missed 2 Meltan events before the last one to be able to get the shiny. Which I still need to edit together the short for that just so I can get it off my phone and free up space in my hard drive and stuff. But I kind of want to edit that together and release the short when a Meltan event is going on. Because it's Shiny Dex based. Because for anyone who didn't know, or like hasn't realised, those shorts are basically my way of doing a Shiny Living Dex. Outside of the main big projects, they're my way of chipping away. Which I guess just... I don't need you now. What? Let's just go here. Because I don't actually need either of those. My plan, content-wise, once this is kind of done and I'm editing that together, I'm going to have, hopefully, a bit of time to do other projects that I've got in mind. And my initial one before the Switch 2 releases is doing a Living Dex just in Pokemon Yellow, just to have fun breaking that game on stream and just kind of share a bit of info around that. Oh, it is also nighttime, so they will take up stamp spawns. Let's quickly swap for today. But then, yeah, once I've done that project, maybe some of like the AI Pokemon stuff is another stream idea that I'm going to eventually do. Maybe. I've done the 8F Mew before. I haven't done the Shiny Mew, which could be an interesting way to do it and still be able to add to my Shiny Dex. So maybe. It would be something that I would have to do twice, admittedly. So there are so many glitches. The 8F glitch is basically you mess with the game so much that you're able to go deeper and deeper into the game's code, and that you can move an item called 8F, which is an elevator. Well, okay, this was like part of the other plan, and like depends when I get stuff. I just quickly, very surface level, go over the 8F glitch. You go into the code, you're able to pick an elevator floor, put that in your bag, and then once you activate it, it messes the code up just enough. If you have a Pokemon in the right space like Mew, it will change the trainer ID and its shininess and like stats. Well, stats, because shininess for Gen 1 is determined off of stats when it moves to Gen 2. To the point where it will be shiny and legit when you transfer it up to home. Yeah, the Pokemon Yellow stuff, I'd be able to do it on Virtual Console and only have to get Shiny Mew once if I got a 3DS capture card. Which I really want to do at some point because it would be nice to go back to like the older games. If not, it would be doing it on an emulator and then getting the Shiny Mew on my actual 3DS so I can get the footage of like transferring up to home and actually have it without having to do some dodgy like save transfers, which would still be legit but would feel a bit off. Transferring shiny Mew up to home, yeah, as long as you use the right glitch. It would be... There are ways that I looked up ages ago. But it's one of those, like, some of them... Like, what I probably looked up, I'm imagining, isn't viable anymore. I'm thinking... Because it would potentially be, like, a home... Oh, that's what it was. It was using a hack 3DS or like a homebrew 3DS, custom firmware, that's what they call it. Using that to basically put a save onto Pokemon Yellow, and then through Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Bank just kind of works with that version because it connects in all the same ways. So you transfer it from that version of Pokemon Yellow on like an SD card or something over to Pokemon Home through all the normal means. Because everything will go into bank normally, is the thing, as long as you're logged in. So that is a way to do it. But at the same time, if I've got a homebrewed 3DS with like a capture card, I'd just do it all on the 3DS. But it's one of those, if you don't have a... Content-wise, if you don't have a capture card, you would have to do the extra steps. It's a whole weird thing. But I do definitely want to do more like non-Switch stuff every now and again for dumb ideas like that. Just because I love how broken those original games are. Because they are literally held together with like Scotch tape and dreams. That was too loud. That was player 3. Yeah, good luck getting Cherubi. If you haven't got Cherubi, then you won't have mass outbreaks, which is the easy way to get it. Yeah, good luck with that. That's a pain. It's just going around like two of its Evos. Oh, that's even worse. Because at least if you got like a Cherry. Yeah, Cherry is the base one, right? Let me check, because I never really know. I always get those mixed up. Surely it's like early on, because you can get in the Mylands. Yeah, it's Cherubi is the base, Cherrim is the evolved form. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Then you've got more chances. Just every time you go knock on each tree that's shaking as well. So you got basically double the chance. I got what you mean. I was thinking if you haven't completed the game by now, that I assumed you were doing it to be able to... Did I check the outbreaks at all with that? I don't think I did. I think I just checked Stantler. Or maybe it was just raining. Yeah, I assumed you were just trying to complete it before ZA. Sort of thing. Maybe. And then, if you're doing it for an Amorous, hopefully you can find a shiny one when you're going around if it's in mass outbreaks. There's always a chance. I'm thinking energy level wise, I might be able to hold out for like another 15 minutes. But I'm so happy that there's been a target today. Because, to be fair, all the streams moving forward, I'm not super expecting to find a target while I'm streaming. Also, I'll share the channel that I'm putting all of the offline shiny hunting edits on. just so you can like keep up to date. I just did a lot of hunting for this last session, so that one isn't up yet because like you saw, it was 7 shinies, and I found 6 shinies, and that video was 13 minutes shot down. So, third channel content. Oh, and that's what I was kind of gonna get onto. That I got majorly distracted by talking about Gen 1 being glitchy as hell and how much I love it. Also, the fact that that was my first game was Pokemon Yellow, which is also why I want to do it on there. While I don't have a lot of projects in mind, and some streams will only take like 2, maybe 3 streams to finish the whole thing, I'm thinking I might hop on and do things like Hollow Knight and... Oh, I did have a couple games in mind, but I forget what the other one was. Because I think I'm going to wait for the Switch 2, obviously, to play XD and Colosseum. So that's at least till June. So it really depends how long those take as well. How bad I am at Hollow Knight. Because I do need to still play it before Silk Song comes out. Because people have loved that enough. Am I really... Okay, I'm losing it. My mind's going. Yeah, people have loved Hollow Knight enough to basically go absolutely insane when Silk Song was finally announced. Any Quillfish? It's so annoying that I don't need Basculin now. Like, that's just a letdown seeing it. So yeah, before the Switch 2, hopefully I can get through Hollow Knight. And that can maybe be... yeah, that... Over 6 seconds of footage. Yeah, basically. It took me a second to connect it. Which, I thought that was absolutely... Because you had to ask a couple of times, and then I went back and like gave you the timestamp and that. The fact that such a big announcement, and they knew that would have been a massive announcement, they let be like 6 seconds of footage in the whole thing. Which I'm hoping in the next announcement on the 17th, they hit it a bit harder and show us more. I also think it's not going to be a unique release just for the Switch. I think it's going to be more of like a... It's going to release multi-platform. Maybe have a brief period only on the Switch. It wasn't? That's so odd. I don't know what one I was watching, to be entirely sure. I might have been watching the Nintendo of America one and not the UK. It's odd that they wouldn't. Oh, and that's the other one. Yeah, I probably was watching the US one then. I just kind of clicked whatever. The other one I want to play in between... Wait. Okay, one of those just looked different for a second. Out the corner of my eye. Is Deltarune finally. Because I mentioned that I only played like chapter 1, and this was years ago at this point. Like, I can't even remember what happened in chapter 1. Like, I have vague ideas, but I want to play through Deltarune as well, and then that might be content for the Panay Plays channel. See how that goes. Ooh, and stuff that only I may care about, but you know, some people might be interested, given people have shown interest in that type of thing before. My friend who I said wanted to start YouTube, and I was trying to like push him to just like get ideas going, is finally seeming like he's fully into the swing of like, I want to start it and I know what I want to start doing, which is like retrospective type content for like old video game series like Resident Evil and things like that. And like, I love that and it fits him so well. So when he finally releases that, if anyone's interested, I'm going to just say, go give him some love. It is like, he said his girlfriend was going to help him like record some footage for it. He's asked me to help him with some bits. So, and that ever comes out, more content from people around me, if anyone cares. As well as hopefully between now and the Switch, the Switch 2, more content from me that isn't just like main shiny challenges. Which obviously we all know when ZA comes out, there are 2 things I'm gonna have to do. Depending on how much of the dex is in there. No targets yet. Depending on how much of the dex is in there. And depending on forms that are released. I'm gonna have to do a full shiny Gen 5 dex. Which hopefully if it's... I'm gonna say as easy as Arceus. Oh, for all the stuff I want to do, like probably like a £300-400 capture card, 450 on the Switch 2, stuff that I want to do setup wise. Like eventually I want to swap this for an SMB just so it's smaller in the view. 3 monitors because I need new monitors. I would be bankrupt, and it's not actually a bad time to be starting a new job. But that is also another thing I need to talk about schedule wise. I started new job in like 10 days, so it's going to be finding my feet schedule wise. But once I start my job, I want to be able to like work out a set schedule at least, because I like the way I've been doing challenges at the minute, where it's like it's offline for a majority, but then also online for bits. So like I've done today, I've done a load of offline work, but then I caught you up of what I've done offline basically. I like that sort of thing because there's no stress to do it all live. There are bits that I do want to do all live, which is like when it comes to playing through Arceus, like I was saying. I'm going to try and do that all online because that was so fun doing the Meloetta bit. Plus, there's only like 200 Pokemon to do for Arceus instead of going through and playing through the base game. Which I'm still 50-50 if I want to go through the base game or not, because I have saves that don't have much in them. So it's whether I use one of those or not. But I do want to do all the decks online and stream that bit, because that's going to be pretty much the end of it. Like, we're going to get to the end and we're going to get the Pokemon Home reward, and that's going to be like every shiny Hisuian form done. But that's the kind of like mentality I want forward. It's like some things that I will plan to be all online. Otherwise, in general, it will... I kind of want Brave Fairy first. In general, it will kind of just be... I do it as and when I can, and then catches up. There will be set times for me to catches up, and then do a little bit of it online as well. That's the kind of plan I want moving forward, because that seems like the less stressful thing in my head. Because I'm a little over ambitious, and this project was, again, more than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd at least be onto like Dialga Palkia by now. Because these games are easy to find shinies in, as people say, but it's hard to find specific targets. If you just want shinies, you can find many. But if you want like a Rufflet up there, it's hard to very specifically go for that. I just saved after I used the berries. God damn it. Well, there's some berries gone. We're down to 75. Although, an upside to me doing the massive mass outbreak so much, I know this outbreak will be in this little crevice. Go properly, please. I think this might also be the last one. But like the niggle, like behind my eye kind of headache is getting worse. I might, don't let me say this is going to be the last one and then I fail it. Did I spawn others? Okay. Second wave. Okay, so maybe one more. I was hoping I would have had a second wave, and it would have been like a satisfying we find this shiny at the end. Player 3 did not quite get that one. Oh, Magic 8 Ball. Where are you? Let's get you up. Background, random roll. Wait. That's wrong. Sorry, just let me edit this. I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh, I know why I had it like that, actually. Ah! Let me fix. 750. Yeah, I know I'm head empty, but we don't need that much of a head empty. Minus 750? Okay, it's more. Okay, it's going off the bottom. So maybe... Does it need to move up? Is that what it needs to do? Yeah, it needed to move up. Okay, we can do this. We're slowly getting there. Because I've got stuff grouped in such a weird way. This is what we've got to do. Get in there. I'm also going to need this fixed anyway for the counter when we do Arceus. Which I might put it down to a poll in Discord. What to do for Arceus. When it comes like, do I do it from scratch or do I just use a save? Okay, let's go 200. Oh wait, I think 150 will be about right. What's 0? Okay, 0's about there. 0 seems about right. Okay, so Magic 8 Ball. Will the next outbreak... I'm going to say Massive Mass Outbreak or Outbreak. Will it be shiny? That is not useful. Maybe it's shiny. Well, that's a conclusion there. That's like as concrete as you can get. And because maybe it's shiny, let's pick up the mood for the last one. One fun thing I want to do, which is kind of like weirdly a collection thing, but not. As we play other games on stream as well, I want to add songs from their soundtracks into the playlists. So it's kind of like a weird song deck sort of thing that we do as well. I feel like that would just be fun. Because then like those songs come up and it could bring us back like those playthroughs. A bit more of a connection with the soundtrack. I think I've still got... Player 3, stop it. I've still got 2 potential targets in the Mylands. And I'm going to check everything. So, the Petalil area, and the Goomy area. As well as the outbreaks. Although I think the outbreaks can appear in those areas as well. But we'll see, we'll see. Or, do we check everything? I think I know what the answer would be there. And I think I kind of know what I want to do. There is Sliggoo. Sliggoo isn't one I've perfected. That is the only downside. But I think we're going to check everything. So it was actually kind of pointless. But I know there's at least one potential target. The question is, will we find a target? I just don't use a soundboard enough and I feel like it's like wasted. I've got the soundboard there. Just like, nope, nope, not going to use you. Throw it over there and just like... put it out of its misery. It just doesn't get used at all. I was planning to use it more in like the direct, but I was just too distracted by the direct itself and like just getting excited. What is this I've got? I forget what I've got on here sometimes. Yeah, I've got the damage down apparently. Okay. I'm checking everything on the map. I'm probably going to check Sliggoo first and go through it all. Oh god. Just the last series I watched was finished was Invincible. And I wasn't ready because up to episode 6 is where I watched. And then I realised there was another 2 episodes that released after that. And it got so good. Like, you'll know the moment I mean if you've watched it. Where it just says, "And you'll take it to your grave." It's like, oh, that seems super cringe until you said that one line, and now it's one of the most epic scenes I could think of. I can't remember the voice actor for him, but just made that one cringy scene so badass. We don't want to spoil the whole thing, which is why I'm just saying the last line. Mirko's in. Yeah, there are still some Goomy. No, it's just purple plants. The other times I've done that in this specific area is seeing like something green or something purple and being like, it's Goomy or it's Petalil. And it just turns out to be the plant. Depending on how long this takes, I could also wait for the rainstorm to end and check the basic spawns. Yeah, and apparently there's been rumours of a second Detective Pikachu, which I'd love because I love the style of that film. But I just don't know what they do with it. But I also haven't played any of the Detective Pikachu games. Mainly because they're not my type of games. They're more the games I like to watch other people play. So maybe I should play them as a streamer. But they're just not my type of games to play. I'm not very much for the visual novel kind of games. But I do love watching, say, like, RT Game play the Ace Attorney games. Or the Game Grumps playing Danganronpa. I love watching that type of stuff. And it would give me an excuse to do more voice acting. But I feel like we're not getting that in Pokemon anytime soon, so there's got to be no shortage. That's another thing I was thinking, like, content-wise, when ZA comes out, I really just want to, like, lock in and try and get the... I forget what I was calling them, like, 100% complete game? Like, the how I 100%ed this game type thing that I did for the Teal Mask and Indigo Disc. Like, lock in and get that out, like, as soon as, which also requires me getting a living dex. Because... obviously, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rank 8, I'm going to get a living dex, and it's going to be a great old time. Oh, up here. I always forget they can spawn up here. I dodged that by complete accident. Yeah, that's just going to be locking in for 2, maybe 3 weeks. Might even book some time off work. We'll see. Because to be fair, for those games, I do want to enjoy them. And as much as I enjoyed playing the DLCs and getting those videos out, it was stressful and I did quite literally lose sleep on them. Not even for the reason that I lost sleep getting the last video out. That was just like tech issues. I just really went hard on putting those videos together as fast as I could, while still having a bit of integrity. And because I did the Indigo Disc one in like 2 weeks, it also did well. But that is also a thing I have to think about, like, how I want to tackle making videos in future. And I don't want to have a lot of them be, like, time constrained. I want just, like, the spectacle of them to be enough to try and sell it. So people click on it and then find the channel and enjoy the stuff. And time constrained stuff, I feel like is not the audience I want, sort of thing. Like, I like if people just enjoy me playing through stuff, but I would also just not want people who are there to see me play new stuff and get out straight away, because they're gonna just be disappointed. Just straight up. So when it comes to that type of stuff, I'm not gonna try and do like super timely things. Meloette was maybe the last thing that will be like semi-timely, and that still took me months to get out. I think just for the way I am, I enjoy making videos more, because as much as I'm streaming and talking now, I am very much a behind the scenes person. But I also know it's good for me to develop the kind of skill to be a bit more like outgoing. So naturally for me, I do enjoy making videos a bit more. But also, the stuff I do on stream, like the stupid ideas, I also kind of love. And if I could have someone else basically be me, where I don't have to be on stream, but someone would do exactly what I do on stream, but I just give them ideas in the apps and stuff, that would be the ideal situation. But unfortunately, I have a weird brand. So it's like, I love the ideas and like some of the execution side of streaming, but as a holistic process, I think I enjoy editing and making videos a bit more. I guess kind of, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, someone else just be the face of it, but I am like the director behind the scenes. Let me ghostwrite my content. Because weirdly, I feel more at home doing voiceover and stuff as well, because there's a bit less stress to get that right in the moment. I think that's the main difference. Because I also, like, I love singing. But I like practicing singing and, like, recording vocals more than I actually do performing, unless the crowd's kind of there with you. Which is the bit that, like, makes me also want to stream, where it doesn't actually fit with my mindset. But when the audience is there with it and we're all kind of like in it together sort of thing, how I am, I can feed off that kind of energy, and that's like the motivation to keep going and doing it and just have fun with it. I very much feed off other people's energy. Otherwise, something like this would just be like my hell on earth. And was definitely Kid Me's hell on earth. I couldn't imagine me streaming. I used to sit down and record videos, and like before I'd start recording, I would need to hype myself up. Now I've just kind of developed enough of a skill that I can like switch into a mode, sort of. Also, the rain ended. I'm gonna reset this. Go straight to the Sliggoo. Do that outbreak, see if there's a second wave, and then I'm done. Speaking of like how I like making content, that's also why I'm excited for my friend to start making content. It's like I can kind of do bits of like how I want to make content, but like through them, like help them make stuff, kind of help guide it with the experience I've got, but help them keep their own brand. Because it was acting like what are like some tips. I was like, listen, the best tip I've found is just don't try and just reiterate things. Give facts and like your own perspective. Don't just give the popular opinion, because he wants to do retrospective stuff like with that context. It's like, don't just give the popular opinion, or if your opinion is a popular opinion, put your own spin on it and your character, because that is like the only way you differentiate yourself. If you can do both of those, it's ideal. Like, let people know who you are, how you act, and what you find funny. And eventually, in theory, it should work. Whether a lot or a little. Like, other than that, just find the style as well. It can be a basic style, it can be an in-depth style, just something that you enjoy as well. That's the one thing I still like, and I think that's the thing actually why I like making the video side more, is because I can really like preen the style of content that I make, and I enjoy watching it back, like even just like error checking, and I'll like watch back section after section, and sometimes I'll throw in stupid little like visual jokes and make myself laugh, where I can make myself laugh and have jokes on stream, but there's that kind of like have an idea, get it out into the world straight away that I can do with videos that I can't do with streaming, because my ideas get a bit bigger and require time. And those little moments you get that kind of like are memorable and make you laugh are a bit more like the audience interaction side, because I've realized this with some of the streamers I love watching, is it's kind of like a back and forth where how do I explain this? So it's kind of like, did it disappear? No, where's the other Sliggoo? I hate when it does this. Yeah, it's kind of like a back and forth where both sides are acting, because a lot of like what you see in like Twitch chats for like massive streamers is like, we're expected to say this, or like, yeah, it's basically they say what they're expected to say, or they'll like add to the joke but not be serious, sort of thing. Like, oh, he's rigged the prediction. It's like, they're really actually not that angry about a prediction going wrong, but it's funny if they really kick off. And then also the streamers play up to it, and they'll like come up with hypotheticals or put themselves in hypothetical situations, or have an opinion that isn't actually theirs just to be antagonistic. And it's a weird like back and forth where both sides are acting, so the final product is fun, basically. But those aren't like just like me moments where I make me laugh. Not to say I don't have fun with it. Like I've said, my favourite parts are... That was also a waste of those materials. My favourite part of like the whole Meloetta challenge was the last bit, when everyone was... Ooh, Ariados is a new common one. Everyone was there like at the end watching, like cheering on, putting in like their own 2 cents. Like whether big or small things. There was like one day just put like, imagine. I was like, yes, imagine. It's like, I put that bit in the edit because live it was fun and I was reading it, but for the edit I could emphasize those bits and really pull out like why I had fun doing it. So it's like streaming but another level, because I stream most of it. But speaking of the end of those streams, we're going to safety save again. 160 hours, by the way. I think I started around 1:30, so it's 30 hours so far. Yeah, speaking of ending stream, we're kind of at the end of stream now. It's good 2 hours. And also, if I get this up. And also, we got female Basculegion ticked off. It was the only shiny we got this stream. What? Wait, was it? Did we? No, we got Sneasel as well. Sorry, completely forgot about Sneasel, the poor little thing. So yeah, 2 shinies. See if this still works. Yeah, here we go. We got Sneasel, and we got, if I remember how the symbol goes, female Basculin right now. Also, just a curious, because with the thumbnail test, which spoiler, the 679 out of 679 won. Not by much, to be fair. It was relatively even, but it won by 38% compared to like 36 and 30. But video wise, when it came to doing text on screen, like I do like my handwriting, compared to like my handwritten font that would come up, was that just as clear and like interesting visually? Like, did it look good and was it clear enough in the video? Or should, like, for the next videos, go back to the font that's a little bit clearer and easier to read? Okay, good. Because I really like that style-wise. I'm just curious, like, legibility, because I have a very, not unique, but it's not always super legible. Because if you're just curious, I basically did what I'm doing now, but for the video. Like, I'd come into Photoshop software with a green screen background, record the screen, and basically, player 3, come on. And basically just record my pen strokes and just try and get it right. Which, weirdly, sometimes could be like a lot faster than actually animating texting. But that's me done for today. Get in the middle of stars. I'm thinking this weekend in Liverpool, it's the entry races and like the Ladies' Day and things like that. Big event, usually go around, see family, friends, things like that. So I'm probably not going to be on this weekend, but I'm going to, like this week, try and be a bit more consistently streaming, maybe like 2-3 times. I will give some warning probably in the morning, the days I'm going to stream. But for now, as the new song kicks in, thank you for watching. I'm going to pop off, get some headache tablets and liquids down me. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, blah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Also, I'm transitioning the thumbnails away from the originals because I love how they look. I just don't think they're super legible. Oh, was it you? Yeah, you were doing the thumbnails. Okay, I'm gonna go on. Like, I want to nerd out for a little bit. So let's get this off the screen and this off. Yeah, I'm going to nerd out a little bit on thumbnails and just show you basically how I think about doing them. I can also... Wait. Should undo all of that before I save. Save that. I can close this. It's just good to keep like certain things in mind while you're doing images. Let's go window. There we go. And let's give you background and stuff. Do I have assets? I do still have the thumbnail assets. So if you're just curious how I made like the last one, it was basically I just went in game, took a few screenshots for how I thought the layout should go, because from stream thumbnails I saw that where are you? Is the metal? Oh, there it is. I saw like this one did well, and I like the idea for this one, which is basically me looking for Meloetta, and that was like day 84.5 because I had to upload this twice. So like I kind of want to do that, but properly. So like let's just make that like a next level version of it. So that's why there's a load of like ones with rocks in foreground, with the idea also of it being near the start of the game, so you can see like Mesa Ghost in the background. It's very like green and blue. Oh yeah, that is like the other main reason why I really want to switch to it, is because footage and thumbnails are just going to look better. They're going to be... I could take 4K screenshots. My mind is blown. Or like 1080p screen recordings. Like, it's going to look so good. But also, one thing you have to think about, which I will... Where do I keep them? I always forget where I keep my actual project thumbnails. Main video, final renders. There we go. So, that's a thumbnail that won. Quality of the thumbnails isn't gonna really go up. Yes, Meloetta would be higher quality because you can see Alias in there. But what you gotta keep in mind for thumbnails is a lot of the time, people see them about that big or that big on screen. they're not actually ever seeing them in full quality. It's nice when they look full quality, but no one ever sees them full quality. The footage will look better. That's what I'm excited about. But basically, to get this, like you saw, like that was part of the screenshot. Also, I kept me in the base uniform to show that it's from scratch, because it's ways to convey the video without having a load of text in the thumbnail, which text in the thumbnail seems to also work. The plain one did not seem to work out too well, although I think it's really clean. I wish that one wasn't the worst performing one, otherwise I may have kept with the handwritten text. But that's just more clear, because as you shrink it down, it's obvious. But for this, basically, for the assets, I keep clicking the wrong one. For the assets for that, I had the backgrounds. Then I had a few different options for the character that I just cut out from backgrounds that you can use online tools for, which is what I use, because GIMP, the software that I use, doesn't have a subject select where Photoshop does. But I basically just use an online tool and it does good enough. Like, really good job. Yeah, and you can do that in seconds. Then basically, for the rest of them, I just had the animations and did the exact same thing for like low kicks in a load of different like poses to see what I wanted to work with. Also, having an idea of what composition you want. So I knew I wanted like either them running at the rock or them looking over the rock. So that's a good one for looking over the rock, where one like that is great for running at it. Yeah, you might want to copy this somewhere, because there's a site that I use that it literally takes seconds. I usually type in remove BG, but I don't use a remove background site. Instead, I use this site, which I can also paste it in Discord if you want, but that's the site I use. It's got like a size restriction, but for thumbnails it doesn't really matter. So that was all low kicks ones, which you can see that one's got the dashing animation, which is exactly that one. Then we've also got Luxray looking round, because I was like, maybe it's looking for it, trying to sniff it out. Then that one looked like it was dashing with the attack animation. That one was it after like mid flip. Like the one thing I love about doing thumbnails is you do find the unique animations. Metachan was a bit more awkward, but that looked like it was looking down. I was like, that's perfect. And that could have been a dashing one, which I think I ended up using. Yeah, I ended up using that one as like a dash. And then Meloetta, which I only ended up using one because only one read really clearly as Meloetta. So basically, I just had all of them, and then just brought them in, roughly laid them out, and then did things like cutting the grass out to try and like blend them into 3D. Up the lighting and then like saturation on little bits. Added edge glows so you can see like Luxray's hair's glowing with like the text glowing Meloetta. Little things like that to like blend it all in. There's a little shadow for the player. So it all looks like it's in-game. It's like, it's a unique style that I enjoy doing, basically. And throw stars everywhere because shinies. But yeah, the main thing is just when you shrink. Hey!
The advert!
Welcome, Lucy. Thank you for the advert. He came in just as I was like at the end and talking through, or just like nerding out on thumbnail stuff. It gives me a minute to at least have a drink. So, oh, it didn't work. Oh, you probably just missed it. It does tell me I can't do the advert, so you just got lucky. Yeah, main thing, just when you're making a thumbnail, shrink it down and see if it still reads clearly. Because if I go If I just go on YouTube now. Thank you. What a way to send off the stream. How far was I off? Okay. So about that then. Thank God these all play concurrently now. Well, no better way to sign off than being cheered off my own stream. Thanks so much for watching. Lucy, I do think your new name is so much cleaner. I'm just going to say that before I go. Because you are the mod that is very rarely here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you sometime.